True Sky, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the month of August. So, August is an interesting month. We do have the eclipse season upon us this August. We also currently still have Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, and Pluto retrograde. So the total solar eclipse and new moon are in Leo this month, and they are on the 12th of August. The partial lunar eclipse, the full moon, will be in Aquarius around the 27th to the 28th of August. So the core themes around the new moon in Leo and the solar eclipse are around releasing pride, stopping the need for constant external applause, and resetting your core creative identity. So I think even for you, Virgo, that's a really positive thing to focus on, is the creative sides of things, because Virgos are very creative as well. And often, because it is your neighboring sign, often Virgos can have some Leo in their chart as well. So maybe listen to the Leo reading as well if you do, if it's significant to you. We still have the Uranus-Pluto trine ongoing, which has the power to help ease the fear of the unknown and encourages fresh, practical solutions. There is, at the full moon, which is a partial lunar eclipse, we have a powerful tension between the individual self-expression and collective responsibility. It's group belonging versus individual sovereignty. These are the themes with the full moon at the end of August. So it is an interesting month astrologically in the true sky. So we do have on the 1st of August, Venus is actually moving into your sign, Virgo. So it's an interesting beginning to the month. I can't see a lot of that in the cards right in front of me, but perhaps that energy will come up during the reading. So the first deck I have laid out for you here is the Tarot of the Sorceress. So on the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Fire. So this is the underlying theme of the month. There could be some kind of, could be an individual, or it could just be something that you're learning, but it's to do with that fiery element. So it's to do with passions. So things that you're passionate about in your life. It could be a passionate person coming in as well, which is interesting with that Venus, like I just mentioned, being in your sign. And then also, you've just got to be aware that the fire isn't the most stable element like you, Virgo. It does have that tendency to, you know, unless there's a lot of fuel around, you know, the fire can go out. There is that energy as well. So there is some interesting like harmonious elements also in the true sky for you, Virgo. Like I was saying with that Uranus-Pluto trine, they could both be trining your Virgo placement or placements, because they are both in earth signs in the true sky, Pluto in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. So I really see that as you could kind of be like a positive change agent in this energy with that Pluto, that restructuring with the Capricorn, and then, you know, that also new Uranus energy with that stability with the Taurus. I think that the Virgo could work really well with your energies. So you might even find that's something that is coming up for you at the moment. It does depend, obviously. Look at your chart, because depending on what degrees your Virgo placement is at, it might not be yet, or maybe in the future will be, you know, in the next few years. Because obviously they're pretty slow moving. Definitely Pluto is very slow moving, but also Uranus moves a bit quicker. So anyway, also we have quite a bit going on in the Pisces with the Neptune and also Saturn, which could be opposing your Virgo placement. So that's also maybe not as positive, but definitely a lot of learning there, or learning opportunities. And also the current transit of Jupiter through true sky, Cancer, could be sextiling your Virgo placement or placements as well, which is quite a positive thing to have, because obviously Jupiter in Cancer is exalted, so it's a very nice place to have Jupiter. And that's, you know, often linked to like the home and family and the mothers and that kind of energy, which I think Virgo works quite well with, because they see that's part of the pattern of, you know, importance in life. So the first card we have for you, however, is the Five of Earth. So the Five of Earth does say that there could be some kind of a scarcity or a lack of resources this month, because it's come out as the first card. This is why I'm thinking it could definitely be it. So however, you know, obviously one card doesn't overpower all the others, so we'd need to look at all the rest of them. But yeah, the Five of Earth is like your Five of Pentacles, so it does suggest that it's important to look at the stability in your life. So try to make sure that you are through this hard time, because it could only be temporary, but try not to lose your footing, and try to reach out to others as well. Try to look for, you know, whether it's opportunities in your community or maybe people that can help. Virgos are often pretty good networkers, so yeah, this could be something that might help you as well. So the top three cards are really more so to do with the upper chakras, so your crown and your third eye and your throat. So these are the kind of energies that we're pulling in with these top three cards here. So then the next card that we have for you is the Ace of Air. So this is for your crowning card. So it is interesting that you do have that there, because obviously, you know, air is very kind of resonant with the upper, you know, chakras and higher energies, like, you know, it rises high. So, and then being an ace is to do with new opportunities. So there may be really good, you know, brainstorming that happens this month, new ideas coming in, you know, new insights, even some kind of truths that you realize or even are told, because the air can very much be linked with that as well. And then having that with the Five of Earth, to me, is saying that, you know, these ideas could be around, you know, maybe helping you get out of this scarcity as well. And the next card we have is the Queen of Fire. So this is like the Queen of Wands in like a Rider-Waite style deck. This deck actually does take from the Rider-Waite, but it also takes from the Marseille influences into it. But it has its own symbolism and things as well. So the Queen of Fire is a very creative, feminine energy, and she is a leader in her own right. It could even be referring to you, or it could be someone coming in around this time. Maybe even someone that these ideas are connected with, or someone you share these ideas with. So they would be a feminine, don't have to be female, but feminine energy of the fire. So it could be a fire sign, or have prominent fire houses in their chart, or the ruling fire planets prominently placed in their chart. And like I said, it could also just be you, something that you were learning to take on this month. It is interesting that it is there, because we do have a lot of Leo energy this month. So obviously the sun is still, beginning of August, it's still transiting through the sign of true sky Cancer. But around the 6th to 9th, I tend to say that the 8-8 Lion's Gate is a good kind of portal for those Leo energies coming in. So the sun will transit through the sign of Leo. And so obviously the Fire Queen is of the fire energies. So maybe it is some of that affecting you here and coming out in the reading as well. Then for the central cards, so these 3 cards are more to do with, say, your heart and your throat and your solar plexus. And we have the Knight of Water. So we have another knight here. And the Knight of Water can be linked to like a new romance or a new partner coming in this month. Doesn't have to be. They could be of the water signs or houses or significant water ruling planets in their chart. But if not, it could even mean that you are kind of learning about these really romantic, loving energies yourself, and being a bit of a leader in that area. And here, linking with this 5 of Earth, this card of scarcity, it could even be that this Knight of Wands could come in to help you out of this situation as well. And then beautifully, your central card for this month, Virgo, is the 9 of Water. So the 9 of Water is a really positive card to have. It's pretty much like overflowing optimism and abundance and wishes, and it's a very beneficial energy to have, and having it as your central card, which affects every other card here in the reading, is really beautiful. So yeah, the 9 of would be cups in a Rider-Waite deck, but here it's the 9 of Water. So it could even be that this optimistic energy, these wishes, could help you as well out of this scarcity situation. So all the cards surrounding this card are actually either neutral or positive. So I think that this will pass pretty quickly. It could be early in the month, but you know, it doesn't seem to be spreading outwards. Then we have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is an interesting one, and having it with this 9 of Water is an interesting combination too, and the Queen of Fire. So you might feel that there is some kind of recognition, regeneration, and freedom. It embodies resurrection before achieving total victory. It's a card of movement and the transition from darkness to light, from one stage to another. It can even be linked to a new stage in your life, as you feel the wish to change and become a better person who is closer to your deeper aspirations and values. So having that energy there next to that 9 of Water is really beautiful, because that 9 of Water does have that really positive, optimistic, even, you know, card of wishes as well. So really positive. Like I was saying with that trine with Uranus and Pluto, I do feel like the Virgo energies at the moment, and I mean at the moment it is trining like the earlier portion of Virgo at the moment, you know, up until that kind of first, is it decan or decan of the Virgo. So you'd have to look at obviously your chart, but I do feel like it could be connected here as well for you, even if it's not specifically trining that placement, or it might be trining another Virgo placement you have, because sometimes, you know, you can have more than one in a sign, or that, yeah, eventually it will trigger it. So maybe there could be some energies coming in this month that could kind of start that energy for you. And then interestingly, the next card that we have is the Tower card. So the Tower card for me, at least, has that Uranian energy. You know, it's got that destructive, catalytic, kind of revolutionary energy. And interestingly, that it is currently in Taurus, which is one of the signs that you are trining to. And so for me here, I'm not seeing this Tower card in your reading as a negative. Sometimes changes happen for the better. sometimes something that's not working out, you know, will end, and it might even feel a little bit painful at the time. I don't actually see that in this reading. But yeah, you know, if that happens, you know, fair enough to grieve that. But really, I'm not seeing that. In fact, the next card next to it is the Ace of Fire. So we're talking about new passions, new passion projects. And then we have that wishes and that, you know, beneficial card of the Nine of Water also touching the Tower, and also the Knight of Water. So there's a lot of water, there's some fire, but yeah, ultimately quite beautiful cards. It could, if this Knight of Water is someone coming in, it might mean that if it's a relationship, I'm not sure, it could be a friendship, it might end quite suddenly, or just even this person coming in could be a really big change agent in your life, bringing a lot of change with them, and then therefore these new ideas kind of spring up. These three bottom cards, however, are linked to the lower chakras, so your base, sacral, and solar plexus. So there could be a little bit of a destabilizing energy there. So this would be maybe more so linked with the solar plexus. So there could be some kind of ego death this month. There's definitely some kind of change, and it's very dramatic. And then, yeah, the Ace of Fire for your base of the matter. And then you have the Ten of Air. So this is like your Ten of Swords. It is actually quite a strong card, and it also signifies an ending, and it also signifies, a painful ending as well. So there is some kind of ending this month here, and it is linked to this Judgment, and it's also linked to this wishes. So maybe it's actually something you've been hoping for. You kind of knew it was going to end, and you're actually quite hopeful about moving on from this, you know, destructive situation. The next cards I have for you are actually the Under the Oak Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck, we do have the Chariot, which I do think is interesting because I was talking about that Jupiter in Cancer placement, which could be sextiling your Virgo placement or placements. So the Chariot is linked to Cancer, not so much Jupiter, but because Jupiter is in Cancer. And in the early part of August, the Sun will also be in True Sky Cancer as well. So there is that energy there as well. So having the Chariot with the Knight of Fire is quite interesting. So to me, that is saying that, you know, you really do need to take up the reins of your life and channel your passions. You know, use that Knight of Fire energy and control it to a degree. You know, don't let it get too out of control, because I think for a Virgos tend to like to be in control, and they like things to be organized and working efficiently. You know, you don't want too much chaos. So I think that's quite a nice combination there, having the Chariot to kind of control some of that fire a little bit, and potentially even controlling that fire to really help create something new. Because obviously when we do use fire in a controlled manner, whether that is to heat a house or cook a meal or make something, like if it's metallurgy or something like that, you know, it does have that very creative potential. The first card, however, we have for you to clarify the Five of Earth. So that was that card around scarcity. We have the Magician. So that's a really quite positive card to have to clarify this Five of Earth. So here it is telling me that you are going to use your manifesting abilities to get yourself out of this scarcity. You know you can do it. Virgo is a very intelligent sign, and you are going to use your creative abilities, your manifesting powers to change this situation for the better. And then to clarify for this Ace of Air, you have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is a very nostalgic card. It could mean that these ideas, these new ideas that come in this month, could even be linked to reminiscences of your past. Could be a past life, like your childhood, or it could literally be a past life, whether or not you believe in that. So maybe it might even be you reminiscing about what you enjoyed doing as a child. Maybe it's something you've forgotten about, and you'll get a memory or something kind of reminding you of that feeling or that thing that you were doing. And it might actually inspire you on some level to think about, you know, what it is you are doing in your life. For the Queen of Fire, we have the Seven of Wands. So it is a card that has some conflict involved, but it's more of when you are in the battle. So whatever it is you're doing, you get that sense of adrenaline, you know, that rush. So it's actually quite an enjoyable conflict. It even does have like a magical kind of energy, because it has that kind of energy of finding strength where you thought there was none almost. It's definitely a good positive type of conflict where you feel that you will win, that you need to defend yourself and be committed to fight on, to stay on top. It's like that feeling of being alive, which is really beautifully paired there with that Queen of Fire, because she is such a lively queen. She's very creative, and some even say she is the Witch of the Tarot. You know, she has really good manifesting abilities, and she is very involved. She's very passionate about what she does. So quite a beautiful combination, because obviously the Queen of Fire is your Queen of Wands. So then, to clarify the Knight of Water, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is a bit trickier of an energy, and because this was for that potential love offer coming in, it could mean that they might be a bit of a trickster or a bit cunning type of individual, or it could even mean that you might need some careful planning here, or maybe they are carefully planning something. I'm not sure. It goes either way. However, having it connected with above the Magician, which is all about manifesting, to me is suggesting that there is a need for some kind of careful planning or strategy to kind of come out on top. Having it connected with, down here, we have the Five of Wands, which is a conflict card. It isn't as positive as, say, your Seven of Wands. However, it's more about, you know, disagreements and not seeing eye to eye, you know, many different ideas, competition. And also it suggests that you may need some kind of diplomatic skills, in that situation. It's not like entirely negative. There is a fun side to it. Often they are kind of fighting for the joy of it a little bit as well, similar to the Seven of Wands. Yeah, so maybe potentially there might be other people involved in this situation. So this tower here, because that was to clarify the tower with the Five of Wands. This tower, this change could be to do with this fighting, this competition. And it's really going to change something serious in your life. It might even mean that you're moving on from that, or yeah, you figured out a way to, you know, be that change agent and actually get people to see eye to eye and agree on things. Also, the central card, to clarify, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So yes, we may have started with this Five of Earth or Five of Pentacles, which is a lack, a scarcity of some type, even if it's only temporarily. Now our central card, we have the Nine of Water, clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. So this month is actually a really abundant month for you, Virgo, on a material, resource, potentially financial level. it will be very nourishing for you in that sense of that Nine of Water and this Ten of Pentacles at the center there. Then maybe also with this Seven of Swords with this Ten of Pentacles too, could be saying that you might need to be a bit strategic to get to the 10 as well. That this manifesting will also help with the 10. And even this reminiscence, the fighting, the joy of fighting, you know, fighting on. Then we have, to clarify the Judgment, we have the King of Swords. So we have another figure now, and the swords are more to do with the air signs. So it could be someone coming in. This is about that judgment situation that you are in, which is actually quite a positive situation. It is linked to like renewal, regeneration, and freedom. So potentially this King of Swords could be helping bring that energy into your life this month, or it could even be that you take on that role yourself, and that really helps you attain that freedom in your life. You know, getting into that masculine leadership role on the intellectual level, like really using your brain to potentially manifest even this financial opportunity as well. And then for the Ace of Fire at the bottom here, we have the Nine of Pentacles to clarify. So this is really much more, having the 10 for the abundance, the 9 is also another card of material abundance. So having these two cards together is really really positive for you this month on that level. But this was all about the new passion projects. So these new passion projects could really help you financially to stabilize yourself and to actually be, you know, very abundant. And then for the 10 of Air, you have the Four of Cups. So the 10 of Air was that card that was bit negative. It's not really connected to any other negative cards though, so it is diluted, but there is some kind of ending, some kind of painful ending. It may even feel like or be like a bit of a betrayal, so something you've been working on for a long time. Having it clarified by the Four of Cups suggests a sense of like boredom, which is quite interesting. So it's almost like this betrayal or this pain or this ending, you're just not interested in it at all. So it sounds to me like you're moving on in a healthy way and that you're really trying to put your energies into more positive things this month, having that as the clarification there. So the next cards I'm going to clarify with are the Shaman's Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck, the Shaman of Foresight. So the Shaman of Foresight is linked to preparedness, being watchful, transcending the moment, looking ahead, interpreting signs, taking advice, acting intentionally, listening to instincts, dreams, and visions. So that's the underlying energy of the month with the Shaman Oracle for you. However, the first card we have is the Dancer of Inspiration for the Crown, the Dancer of Friendship for the center, and the Ancestor of Knowing for the base. So the Dancer of Inspiration for the Crown is linked with imaginative conviction, precision, clarity, striking out to fresh territory, appreciation by others, turning the corner, winning, and creative strength. So that was linked in here with these new ideas and this reminiscence. It's interesting you got two dancers here in your main spread. So the central card is the Dancer of Friendship, which is linked with strength and unity, fellow journeyers, allies, new directions, advice and trust, community, companionship, like-mindedness, honesty. So this was for that 9 of water with the 10 of pentacles. So that optimistic wishes, wish fulfillment, and then the material satisfaction, which is quite interesting. So maybe there is a friendship or some kind of group or collaboration that's involved in these things in your life as well. And then for the base, we have the ancestor of knowing, which I find quite interesting considering the Virgo's catch cry is I know. So the ancestor of knowing is linked with clear-sightedness, the gift of transcendence, knowledge with understanding, and warrior insight. And this is for the Ace of Fire, so these new passion projects with also this material, and it's a material independence. So see how she's alone here? It's quite, it's like financial sovereignty. That's the 9 of Pentacles really has that energy, which is quite a good energy for Virgos. The next cards I have for you are the Mists of Avalon Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Nimue. And her energies bring respect, self-esteem, opportunity, and confidence. So linking her with the Shaman of Foresight is quite an interesting combination there. However, the first card we have for you is the Priestess of Avalon, and this is your crowning card for the month, which has the energies of healing, initiation, divine inspiration, and ancient knowledge. How interesting that it is linked to the Dancer of Inspiration, and literally one of her qualities is divine inspiration. So there is some kind of divine energies coming in this month, and definitely because this is the crowning card, it's about it coming in for you spiritually and mentally, and even potentially you could speak it. There could be some effect on the throat chakra there too. The central card, however, for you, we have the Otherworld, which as energies are the ethereal, everlasting, rebirth, and journey. And this is linked to the Dancer of Friendship. So maybe there is some kind of journey you will go on this month, and you may even meet new people, new friends, or there's some kind of rebirth associated with that. And then the last card we have for you for the base of the matter is Guinevere, and her energy is linked with beauty, feminine power, sexuality, and love. And here she's also linked with the ancestor of knowing, so there is a knowledge of these things as well. Maybe it's something you might even be working on. So the Ace of Fire, these new passions with this financial independence, potentially even you may be working in like the beauty industry or something like that, or you might learn about it, something. Okay, so the next cards I have for you are the Ancestral Oracle of the Celts. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Tracker. So the Tracker, you have already seen the tracks, but maybe not recognized them consciously. Scrutinize the evidence and watch the signs. A great change is coming, but what you long for has to be sought out. Be ready. Blend into the background as you wait. Seek assistance from those who support you or draw upon their special skills. I follow the unnoticed signs in order to find my quarry. So that's the underlying energy of the month for you. And the first card, the crowning card you have, is the Keeper. So the Keeper says, despite the effort you've put in, things behave according to their nature. The resonances you feel between your question and your instinctive knowing are leading you steadily to the truth. Do not be afraid to name that truth now. Don't forget to thank those who've enabled you to get this far. I am the rememberer of the forgotten ways that make the path full of joy. Wow, that's beautiful. And that's to clarify the Priestess of Avalon, which was all about healing, initiation, ancient knowledge, and divine inspiration. The central card for you is the Lord of Light. So the Lord of Light says, "For what are you most grateful? Which resources can you use most skillfully? How do you honorably serve through your work? What gifts do others receive from your creativity? What medicinal elements do you crave? What feeds your well-being? How can you serve the common good? Where do you need to get out of the way? I impart the gift of skillful vision. Whatever the difficulty, my light shines upon the issue." Wow, that's beautiful. And so that's for this other world, which is about rebirth, the journey, the ethereal and everlasting. Wow. The Lord of Light. And then the last card for you for the month of August is the Initiator. So the Initiator says, only you can welcome the next phases. Whatever seemed dormant begins to move rapidly now. Whatever the outcome, be sure that it will involve change, a move of place, job, or condition of life is being heralded. Being part of things is better than standing aside. I find the openings and bring the changes so that potentialities can grow. Wow, so that's so interesting because, I mean, here it is linked with love, beauty, feminine power, and sexuality. So there's some changes here with these things. However, we did also have that Tower card, and also I have been feeling about that Uranus-Pluto trine, that current placement and its effect with you being a bit of a like catalyst, like a change agent. The Initiator is a similar energy there as well. And that's the base of the matter. So that's, you know, for your lower chakra. So that's kind of like your driving energy, where the energy starts. So that's beautiful. It's like an initiation going on this month for you. The last deck I have for you here is the Moon Witch Oracle, and on the bottom of the deck we have no sleep on it. So that's the underlying energies of the month, and that would be linked with your tracker energies. So that's interesting. The first card you have, the New Moon. So fresh start, new beginnings, which is quite interesting because we do have that new moon. It is in Leo, however. Your season is obviously coming. Like Leo and Virgo are quite connected. They're neighboring signs. So potentially this new moon could be really significant for you, especially in these upper chakra areas. So with this new wisdom coming in, and because it is eclipse season, you know, the eclipses are very powerful energies, and we did just have the eclipses in Virgo. So last year the eclipses were in the Virgo placements, so there may even be affecting you, and maybe even that's why these energies are occurring now. So maybe because during that past eclipse time you were kind of dealing with a lot of, it would have been potentially karmic, maybe even dharmic energies, because it was the South Node in Virgo, which obviously is not, whereas now it's in True Sky Leo, the South Node. And then also, yeah, we will have more planets moving into Virgo as obviously as time progresses as well. So this is for the new moon. This is for the keeper here, and it says fresh start, new beginning. So there's some kind of new beginning here for you this month. The central card is yes, just go for it. So that's really positive, because that shadow energy was about no, sleep on it. So the central card is obviously quite a dominant stack of cards. It really is that kind of central heart of the matter energies. So there's obviously something you need to go for this month, but potentially you might need to sleep on it too. Doesn't mean you can't still go for it. The base of the matter is mirror, mirror. The beauty you see in me is a reflection of you. Oh, that's beautiful, because we did have down here, we had the beauty. Guinevere is linked with the beauty as well. And then we had the initiator as well. Maybe it is some kind of wounds you've been working on to do with your own beauty, or, I mean, Libra is your other neighboring sign. And then also on the 1st of August, we do have Venus moving into True Sky Virgo. So at some point during August, Venus will conjoin your Virgo placement or placements, and that could be why this energy is also coming up here, because Venus is generally linked to like beauty and love and, you know, those kind of energies. So yeah, really interesting reading. So that is the end of your reading. These are the cards that I have for you for the month of August, Virgo. I hope you have a fantastic month. It's looking quite positive, really. There was a little bit, I think, with the 10 of air, so that 10 of swords. I'll try and sweep some of that away for you here, and then also the tower. I don't really see those as particularly negative. The cards that were clarifying weren't that bad, and all the surrounding cards weren't that bad either. Not that it's all about good and bad, but obviously we all have our challenges. That is part of life. And then if you have made it this far and you've got anything out of the reading, if you could like, comment, or subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, that would be, I really appreciate all the, you know, interactivity that I get here on the channel. So yeah, thank you if you already have subscribed or liked or comment or shared. I really appreciate it. And thank you for returning as well. So yeah, Virgo, I hope you have a great month ahead. Okay, bye.